For more on this, let's bring in our political panel tonight. Radio talker Mark Simone out of New York, and also with us tonight, Democratic strategist Bernard Whitman, who is a Hillary Clinton supporter. Great to have both of you with us tonight. Mark, how do you feel as a Trump supporter and a conservative, the way Donald Trump played this today and went right at the problem, what he believes to be, as you heard his audio today? Was he overboard or spot on?
As you said, he went right at the problem. I think you need a tough approach to this. I'm not against gun control. I don't know why anybody needs a crazy weapon like that in real life. But the problem with these politicians, they'll just pass some gun laws and go right back to sleep. This is not about gun control. It's much deeper than that. That should be step 15 of the solution. You know, that's curing the symptom and not the disease. Donald Trump is right. You got to vet people coming into the country with a proper system that the FBI and CIA can sign off on. You got to control the borders. And that's all part of the plan.
And you think that this shooting is connected to those issues, and this is the proper place for the conversation?
Well, before this shooting, the last two major terrorist attacks in this country were done by refugees, San Bernardino, Boston bombers. In this case, it was somebody born here in America, but you're going to have a problem taking in tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of unvetted refugees. And Donald Trump didn't say ban Muslims. He said temporarily until we got a plan that James Comey and James Clapper, FBI director and intelligence director, can sign off on.
Mr. Whitman, your thoughts on this proposed solution?
No, I mean, I think it's exactly the wrong idea. I mean, this was an attack not just on the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. It was an attack on all Americans. It was an attack on our values. It was an attack on our system of government. It was an attack on the way we live. It was really an attack on who we are as a people. And this is exactly what happens when you have a man consumed by hate, fueled by homophobia, who is using the crutch of a failed ideology, a false ideology of radical Islamism, who is able to buy a weapon that only law enforcement and the military should have. There is no reason on earth that someone should be able to walk in and buy an AK-47. This does not make any sense. We had an assault weapons ban passed by President Clinton in effect for 10 years. We could not get it reenacted again. We could not get it extended. That is just common sense. Most Americans favor this, and I have to say it's absolutely outrageous that we had to have a tragedy like this to show just how dangerous it is when someone like that can get a weapon that no one should have.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with it.
Go ahead.
That's fine. But if you had all the gun laws in the world, as they do in Paris, you're still going to have the problem. You would have just forced him to buy the weapon illegally, where he'd have access to a whole new variety of weapons, or use a bomb or something else. Nobody has tougher gun laws than Paris. You're still going to get these attacks.
So, Mark, you think that reinstating the assault weapons ban would not be a good thing? And I should point out that when it did sunset, after, I believe, 10 years, there was very little, if any, conversation in Congress about this. It just quietly went away. Bernard, your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I think that it's a total abrogation of responsibility on both the Democrats and the Republican side. We absolutely need this. And the idea that Donald Trump is perpetuating that this is somehow radical Islamic terrorism coming to our shores. The guy was born in New York, for God's sake. This is a problem that we have here at home. And I think that Hillary Clinton talking about going after lone wolf's attacks and trying to figure out how to minimize that, it makes far more sense than demonizing Muslims, banning them from the country, when they are exactly the type of individuals that we need as part of our coalition to defeat ISIS.
But sometimes you got to do that stuff. Jimmy Carter, 1979, banned Iranians. It was for about a year until, as Trump says, you figure out what the heck is going on here.
So, Mark, is this, in your opinion, going to be a marquee issue from here on out to the election?
Yeah, I think the problem here, and the economy is the big issue, which Hillary Clinton's not strong on. She even said she'd have to bring in her husband on that. And terrorism is now the big issue. Okay. And I don't think she projects strength on that.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks so much. Bernard Whitman and Mark Simone with us tonight. Joining us